What's up, y'all? It's your girl Sang, and today we're going to be reacting to a video from Amela. It looks like she has Gothix on here. It's titled, A Response to You Act White with Gothix. Let's jump into it. Actually, real quick, before we jump into it, I have to do my ritual every time there's a PragerU or Daily Wire video. PragerU, Daily Wire. Matter of fact, it's about Amela. Amela, Gothix. Whoever sees this, hit me up. Hit me up. Put me in a video. Hop on a live stream. Let's play some video games together. One day, the channel gonna get big and we gonna revert back to all these videos and be like, hey, she been calling it from the beginning. It's gonna happen one day. One day, one of y'all gonna see it and watch. And y'all gonna watch the live streams that they're unlisted. If you go to the community tabs, you can see all the live streams, you can see the videos and be like, y'all rock with your content. Let's get her on over here. All right, let's hop into the video.
Hi guys, and welcome to Unapologetic. You know, there is this interesting phenomenon within the black community in particular, this phenomenon of being told that you act white. We saw it with Larry Elder running for governor in California. He was told that he was the black face of white supremacy.
Huh? What?
Tiffany Cross on MSNBC said there's a bunch of black faces running around with white voices.
I don't know what that means.
And I myself have been called a hot Uncle Ruckus. Which I'll take, wow. I guess it's a compliment in its own way. But there is this phenomenon of being accused of acting white, and today we're gonna break that down with a special guest. Let's get into it.
Accused of acting white. Now let me tell y'all something real quick. It was so weird when I was coming up, because I too am a mixed baby like Amela is, right? I was told I was too black, like J. Cole said in one of his lyrics, too black for this side of the spectrum, too white for this side. It's like I didn't fit in anywhere. And you add me being a nerd on top of that, well, I mean, it was rough. It was a rough time period.
So, on today's show, we have Gothix on YouTube, who I'm sure you all recognize, talking about her red pill moments, talking about the black community, discussing race relations, pride, things that are happening in children's classrooms today in America. Gothix, thank you so much for being on the show.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to be here.
Yeah, we had so many people requesting you to be on, and I thought this would be the perfect topic for us because you've talked about this at length. You've done a video about not being black enough or being accused of acting white, and I'm curious, can you break that down for us and talk about your experience with that whole accusation?
Oh yeah, I have been apparently acting white since I practically came out of the womb. But you know what's interesting is I never quite understood how messed up it sounded because all throughout my life, even people in my family would insinuate that I'm trying to act white because of the music I listen to, the way that I dress, you know, just everything was just criticized as just not being black enough. And now as I'm an adult, I'm like, what does that even mean? Like, because what is the standard to black?
Right. And
that is crazy because in our community, especially because I got that too, because I listened to all types of music coming up. I didn't care, you know, rock. I would listen in high school. Not only did I listen to rap and R&B, I listened to rock heavy. Me and my brother, like after school, we'd be in his car just blasting it, going crazy. And it's the same way. I remember the group of kids he used to hang with, it was mostly white kids because they listened to the music that we listened to, right? He dressed, him and Gothix would probably get along very well. He dressed like her a lot in high school. And yeah, black people would just be like, oh, y'all just acting white, that's crazy. Or if you be like, I listen to rock or whatever, you get teased and made fun of. It's weird. It's weird because that's not in the white community. You'll see other white people be like, oh, you listen to rap? You must be trying to act black. They just enjoy music. It's so goofy.
They come up with all these different, I guess, a list of things. I, myself, when I was in school, I got called an Oreo all the time because of my skin color and my, you know, parents of two separate races. And it's interesting that if you like watching movies that feature white people, if you like listening to music where the lead singer is white, if you talk in correct English, you are considered to be acting white when you're black. And it seems
I was with everything except the movie part because Amela younger than me though. Me and Gothix, I think we're around the same age, maybe. I think we are. I've never heard that movie one before. That's weird. Oh, you're watching a movie where the cast is mostly white? You must be white. It's like, hello, that's Hollywood. Like, what are you talking about? Like, until it's very recent in the past couple years where they started diversifying everything up. But it used to be mostly white. That's so
Seems to be
weird.
a phenomenon that is particularly strong within the black community. Like, you don't often hear Asian people being accused of acting white or Hispanic students being accused of acting white. It seems something very particular, like they've set black people in a box, and I'm wondering, like, what are we supposed to do to act black? Do you
So I never heard Hispanics acting white, but I definitely heard the Asian thing. It's so weird. So in the Asian community, at least not how they view each other, but obviously how others view them. I'll say how they're viewed from the black community. Either you acting white or you acting black. It's like there's no in between with them. So they kind of go through it too, just to put that out there.
you have any answers for that?
I feel like twerking might fall into that category somewhere. Perhaps listening to hip hop music. I'm honestly, I'm not sure. And the thing is whenever someone makes that claim and I present the question back to them, okay, you tell me what blackness is. They can never give me an answer because regardless of what comes out of their mouth, that's gonna sound pretty bad.
It's gonna be racist.
Exactly, and there's this idea, okay, so acting white, I guess we understand what that means. It's speaking properly, it's not using dirty language, it's not twerking, not listening to rap music, whatever the case may be.
Which is crazy because they do all that. They do all of those things. Also, talking proper, like, we're all just talking. Who cares? Like, if you can understand me, I can understand you. I never understood that either. I gotta tell this story. I think I told this on one of my live streams, but I don't think I ever said this in a video. Or maybe it was one of my Let's Address the Comment videos, but I recently, not too long ago, had somebody leave me a comment. It was one of my subs, and they was like, you know, I like your content, but I think you would move further along if you drop the hood rat talk. Like, you don't need to be saying all that, it's your girl, like, you speak like a hood rat, you need to speak more proper English. Oh, I did say this in a live stream because y'all was like, what is proper English? It's like, what, you want me to speak how the queen speaks over in England? You want me to be more like, I just talk normal. My intros are basically like, what's up, y'all, it's your girl saying, and then I speak normally. I don't, like, I'm speaking English. I don't know what more you want out of that. That person got blocked. I was like, you not truly a supporter to say so like that. Just to be like, it'd be better if you spoke proper English and you'd move along. It's like, you don't even realize how racist your comment sounds right now. It's wild. It's like, you've been here from the beginning. That's crazy. I've been rocking this since the beginning. It's been very recently where I only really rock this if I need a retwist now, instead of just rocking it all the time. It's my house. I can be comfortable in my house, but like, ain't no way you've been here that long and you be like, the do-rag is okay, but how dare you speak in that hood rat language of yours?
But acting black comes with a whole other slew of just like stereotypes and racialized thinking that they claim to be so against, but are so happy to utilize when they meet somebody who is a black individual who's not saying, quote, black things. You know, vote for me or you ain't black, as we heard from the president of this current administration.
Come on, man.
And I actually looked into this because it was like, this is fascinating. I wonder if anybody's ever written about this or done a study surrounding the social implications of this. And there's this brilliant guy who was a tenured Harvard professor. His name is Roland Fryer. And he ended up doing a study on acting white, essentially, and went through to these students of different schools and asked them, you know, what are your top 3 friends? Name your top 3 best friends. And he went around to the white students, the Hispanic students, and the black students. And through this study, ended up finding out that if you were a black student who started to exceed academically and in school, started to engage in extracurriculars and just make yourself a well-rounded student, you actually became less popular among your black peers because they perceived you as trying to act white. And I'm fascinated. Have you ever had an experience like that? Was that what life was like for you growing up?
She nodded. I already know she's about to say yes. I went through that. Growing up, I was in all the honors, advanced placement. It's crazy. It was mostly white kids up in there. And the other kids, you just you a nerd if you was in there, and then it was crazy because then they had their own little sequence of cliques in the honors and AP programs. I'm so glad school is over.
Oh yeah, totally. If I were studying more, which in high school, well, I actually am a high school dropout, but before that, I actually was really good in school, and I would get straight A's. I had honor roll and everything. But there was this group of Black people that I think they use their inadequacies as sort of like an identity for them. Whereas if they saw someone else that was excelling, it's like, oh, who are you trying to impress? My future resume. That's what I'm trying to impress. So yeah, I can totally relate to that.
Yeah, same here. I grew up, so when I was younger, I had a group of Black friends, and who I hung out with every day, all the time. And we weren't doing anything that really was good. Like, we didn't really care about school. We wanted to go out and do different things. And I'm talking like in elementary school. We were just tomfoolery, misbehaving the entire time.
Yeah,
and eventually in school, I just started to exceed and always did well academically. And as that incline sort of grew, the separation between me and this group of friends was so apparent, and I was accused so often of acting white. And you talk at length about identity groups and people seemingly thinking that they have shared characteristics based solely on their skin color. And you tell people you should not view your skin color that way. You shouldn't take on these shared characteristics. And I know a lot of people are going to hear that and say, well, what's wrong with that? I am Black. We are Black. We go through these shared experiences, these shared struggles. Why do you advise against people taking on those identity characteristics?
Because you telling me that you're Black tells nothing about me, if you're a good person, nothing about your morality, your values. And people use identity as far as like characteristics as like a replacement for an actual personality.
Facts.
And I tell people, like, I have more in common with most white people, not because of the way that we look, but because of the diversity of thought. And if we want to talk about, uplifting one another, I think we should be more inclined to do so when it comes to the way that we differ in thought, as opposed to just the skin color that we share. Because again, I don't learn anything about that from you telling me that you're Black.
Yeah, and do you
Facts.
get a lot of hate from the Black community for the things that you say?
Oh, all the time. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And you know what's interesting is, and this goes to show you how much people wear their skin color on their sleeve as a part of their personality, because the most common insult that I'll get from Black folks that think this way is, we don't claim you. I don't want to be claimed. that why would you assume I'm interested in being a part of whatever you got going on? And
Right.
the dangerous aspect of it is, people, we see this very often in politics, will use skin color as a shield from criticism. Well, you can't criticize this Black lady in politics because, she's Black, and representation and diversity. But again, it just stops at surface value. You don't see anything about her morality or anything about the policies that she's promoting. It's just Black, 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 Black.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
We just talked about this last night on my live stream. Basically, somebody made a good point. They were just like, I just tell people I'm human. Right? Or how Hodge twins, when they be like, I'm not African American, I'm American. That makes so many people mad when you say that. And I don't understand. Because, like, they're right. If you're born here in America, you're American. Just is what it is. Like, I don't understand why, like, the race has to be attached to it. You can physically see what I am looking at me. You can tell I'm Black. Like, I don't need to tell you that myself. I'm more than that. And just like how somebody said, like, I'm human. And I've, like, y'all know this is a Christian channel. I had a bunch of people was like we're all God's children, like we're all one under Him, and I was just like, yeah, that's how it should be. That's how we should view one another. But that's not what you get. That's not what you get, especially Black people. Though I noticed the people that are really focused on race, their brains are like about this big. Their IQs are pretty tiny, so it's all right. It's okay. They don't know no better. But at some point, their eyes are gonna have to get open, because I do notice a lot of Black conservative people, like, we know what it is. We've done our own homework. We've figured out why we want to say we're conservative or Christian, whatever, right? It usually be the people on the other side that'd be like, oh, you're too stupid to understand what you're doing. And it'd be white people on that side saying it too. And it's like, so now you calling me a stupid black person. That's why I like Jesse Lee Peterson, because he'd be like, you gotta explain it to me. I'm black and I'm slow. And they be looking at him, they be like, what? What? His level of trolling. So funny.
Means nothing. And then as soon as you see a black person step out of the pool, they're called like, oh, you're acting white, you're a white supremacist, you have internalized racism or whatever, or they'll accuse you of being raised white or whatever it is that they want to use. I can't tell you like how many basically derogatory slurs they have just for black people who choose to step out of the bounds of what is expected of them. And that just really, really, really blows my mind. And it's so easy to exploit that when people think that way. And you've talked about this as well, that like when you subscribe yourself to a group and you say, this is my group, we all think the same, this is what we do, this is what we consume, this is what we buy, the media and the elites of the world and these corporations love that. They love to hear people be in these hive mind mentalities because they're like, that's a new consumer market for me. Can you break that down and really how that works? Because I have a feeling that some people might see it and see the campaigns that these corporations are doing about LGBTQ people, black people, Latinx people, but they don't understand how the hive mentality just links in directly with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's really comes down to people need to pick and choose what is it that they want. Because, for example, the other day I saw that Disney published an advertisement. I guess they're going to start offering Wakanda meals at Disney World, and it was purple drink and fried chicken. Okay, so on the one hand,
that's real.
right? So on the one hand, people will say those are black stereotypes. That's inappropriate. Now, where did those stereotypes come from? Where did the idea of black people all thinking and behaving the same way come from? Usually it's from black folks. And what I find that's very interesting is a lot of black people that like to push for this collective thinking will do so until it involves some type of criticism, and then they want to back up away from it. You know, this was something that I saw with I don't know if you're familiar with Kevin Samuels. He was like a online relationship, self-help type of guy trying to help the black community. And he got a lot of criticism for being hurtful to black women.
And it's crazy because it was black women that didn't like him. Yet he was all about family and keeping the black community together, making sure people were married, having babies with one woman, keeping them in the household. And it was black women that didn't like him. And their whole reasoning was because, oh, you're just too blunt with how you speak to people. And I'm going to be real with y'all. I never understood why women had a problem with being talked to like that. I never understood it. That was my whole issue when I was in my last job. I was in management. I could just talk to a dude. I could be like, hey, I'm going to need you to do X, Y, Z. Hey, I just wanted to let you know you messed up, but it's cool. Just don't do it again, blah, 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 right? I could talk to them like that and be blunt, and they'd be like, all right, saying no problem. I won't do it. I'll make sure to go over there and do that, or I won't do this again. It was the women. It was the women. My team where I worked, it was a mostly black company. So it was mostly black men and women on my team. I sworn everything was the black women. They all had issues. You couldn't tell them nothing. Oh, why does she speak to me like this? Talking to you the same way I'm talking to the man. I'm not about to baby you. We at work. We are at work. Why they like that? Because I don't understand. As a woman, I don't understand. It ain't that deep.
But the thing is that he was addressing individuals and individual behavior. So when you say that this affects black women, or this is a black person thing, you're taking all of everything, all of the baggage that comes with it, including the negativity. So you can't on one hand say think as a collective and then say, oh, no, now I don't want any a part of it. Like, which one do you want?
Exactly. It's unbelievable that they say, you know, we don't want to be viewed through the racist past in the history of this country that grouped us all together, but we're going to actively group ourselves together.
Yes.
And just say that we have this shared message. Just to close out on this subject, what do you think should be done or can be done in order to break this barrier of acting white or of having to have these shared characteristics? Because to me, it is a barrier that stands in the way of success for so many young Black kids, whether or not they recognize it or not. You succeed academically, you're going to be alienated as far as your popularity. You're not going to have the same friend group, and people want to be a part of a group. We're all tribal in nature, and we want to belong somewhere, but I wish people would recognize that belonging doesn't have to be based on skin color. It can be based on the things that you like, who you are as an individual, what your values are. How do you think you break through that wall for the people who continue to fall for this idea?
All right, before she answers, because once she answers, that's going to be the end of the clip, it's looking like. As in the words of Charleston White, and I know that's probably not like a good example to use because a lot of people don't like him, but he plays a character in his videos. He don't really act like that. He said something that made a lot of sense. He was like, I'm not worried about adults anymore. They're a lost cause. Like, they done already made up their mind. You heard the saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. They're done for. They're not going to change unless they want to change. Where we're going to have to kick down the door and make change is with the children in these communities. They're the ones that can be saved where all of this becomes brand new. But if we keep bringing them up in the same garbage culture that we have, yes, our culture is garbage. There's a lot of garbage parts to it. All right. Yes, some things is cool. A lot of it is trash. If we keep bringing them up in that, they just going to be the same adults that we don't like dealing with. That ain't going to change. They got a victim mentality. We have to figure out how to work with the youth and change them. Why do you think the government is targeting kids? Right? I know this is separate. This has nothing to do with the Black community. But why do you think the government is targeting children? They're like, oh, we gonna get them while they yay big, you know, we gonna fill their mind with all this stupid indoctrination BS. So when they become that teenager or adult, they're gonna be like a robot at that point. They're gonna be like, yeah, there can be 50 billion genders and I'm part of the alphabet community and this and that. And then they won't look at you like you crazy when you tell them the truth and break science and stuff down to them. That's why the government do it. We gonna have to do the same thing for our community, but in teaching them why being a victim is wrong and, you know, you're not acting white if you just talk regularly, you know, without the ebonics and stuff. That's what we gonna have to do.
It's so difficult because this goes deep. Like, this is a long game. Before I was even born, this type of division in the Black community. And as you just said, I sense that there is this desire for acceptance and wanting to be cool. And if you don't act a certain way, you're going to get your Black card revoked. So there's a lot of pressure to sort of fit into this box. But ultimately, I think the biggest problem is people are putting themselves into boxes instead of looking at the world through a lens of color blindness. And I think that's the biggest problem is we're seeing everything in identity. And in order to, I think, succeed, we have to drop that and just see everyone as equals, as human beings. You know, I am a believer in God, so I look at the world through we are all the same under God. I don't care what your skin tone is. And I think that's the first step, is to stop subscribing to this is my tribe, this is my group, yuck.
Mm-hmm. What a racist thing to say, Gothics.
Yo.
It'd be like
She's
that.
like, I guess I'm a racist then. Where can people follow you and find your stuff?
You can find me on YouTube, Twitter. I'm on Rumble at Gothics TV.
Go ahead, check it out. I know you guys are already checking out her stuff because you're the one who recommended her to me. So I'm glad that we got to sync up in this video. Guys, if you liked what we had to say, please like, subscribe, click the notification bell to be notified every single time we post a new video for you guys. And go and support Gothics because she deserves it. She's putting out great content and is speaking really to your values. And if she's not, I'm sure she doesn't mind a little challenge and a little debate in the comments on her side of things too. So, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll be back next time.
Yeah, she does. I was in her live stream earlier. Not in it. I was in the chat like everybody else. You just talking. She does. She'll pose like she was talking about what is truth. It was deeper than that before, but that was essentially what is truth. And she had people in the comment section. They was leaving what they thought. She was responding back to them. So she will have like a little back and forth with her audience. Her content is cool. I like Amala's content too. But you saw at the end when she was just like, you guys probably already know how to find her because you recommended her to me. Look, y'all know how I feel about Daily Wire and PragerU and all this. I said, in the Let's Address the Comments video, I was like, one day I'm gonna be working with all of them. And I put Gothic's name in there too. I think I used her as an example. Look, I'm gonna bring it in a little close. I'm gonna need y'all, when you go over to their platforms, I'm gonna need y'all to be like, hey, y'all should check out this your girl say. hey, y'all should check out her content. Y'all should check out her video. Go check her out. So I can like... So they can be like, all right, who is this person they're recommending to me? And they could check out my channel. And then one day you're going to see me down. I may not be at the PragerU office because she had Gothics on a Zoom call. That's cool. I'll take a Zoom call. I'm not too good for anything. I'll do any of that. I need y'all to kind of push that out there. Be like, hey, you should go ahead, check out this your girl saying. You will really enjoy the content. I need y'all to push that for me. I know some of y'all will. Some of y'all be like, don't worry, Sang, I got you back. But with that being said, what did you guys think of the video? I know I left my opinion on a bunch of things, but I want to know what you're thinking. Let me know in the comment section down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you never miss when I drop a video, and then hit the community tabs from time to time so you can stay up to date with everything I'm doing. Also, the live streams that I do every Monday and Tuesday, they're unlisted. As soon as I press stop streaming, I go in here and I unlist them because we are watching a lot of stuff that is going to make them videos not monetized anyways. So if you want to see those videos, you got to go to my community tabs, and basically it's just going to say, we're live. It's going to be each live stream. That's the only way y'all going to see them, unless I figure out how to do a Discord at some point, and then I can just put all of them in like a little tab on the Discord. We going to figure it out. But until next time, you already know who it is. It's Sang.